Good to go.
All right, welcome everybody. The time is 6:30, June 25th, 2024, Abington Conservation Commission meeting. I'm going to bump up number 2 on the agenda to number 1 because the applicant's got to leave early. So partial certificate of compliance, 0845685 Robert English Way. Mr. Kennedy, you want to get up to the podium in case anybody has any questions?
Sure.
So yesterday morning at 8 o'clock, I met with Mr. Kennedy and did a site walk of the property. This is one of the 3 that we approved, I think, what, end of last year?
Yes.
It was. So when you drive down Robert English Way, this is the first property on the right-hand side. We got the 2 full set of as-bills. We got the letter. I know he shows the markers. He's got, I think it was 5, right?
That's
altogether?
correct.
Basically right around the perimeter of the, no disturb. And the grass is starting to grow. It's gonna take a little while for that to take. What about the wetland mix? That hasn't been put down yet, right? Or-
No, the wetland mix has been
It was
put down.
put down?
Yes. I'm sorry, you know what, you did ask for documentation on that. I can send that to you guys tomorrow. But
Yeah.
we got that from Site 1 in Pembroke, and I can describe what's in it momentarily.
No, you showed it to me.
I did show you that. I'm just, okay. And we did do 4 Cultec chambers instead of 2, which was accidental, but it's actually a benefit to control the water, the gutter water runoff. So,
Anybody have any questions? Anybody in the audience? All right, bring it back to the board for discussion. If there is none, somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to grant a partial certificate of compliance for SCC 0845685 Robert English Way.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
thank you. I have a question. I have the 5 4x4 markers, and they're about 4 feet tall. Can I cut those down to like 2 feet? Because it's like so obtrusive to the yard.
I think that's
To be.
they're supposed to be 4 feet tall.
Okay, that's what I did. I just didn't know, because
Yeah.
it's like
I mean,
right there,
the
so-
whole purpose of it is so that people do not start dumping their grass clippings
Yeah.
and everything else. And I think when it's up there, people see it and they're like, wow.
No, I just figured 2 feet might be effective, but
Yeah,
that,
This is where nothing's grown right now, they stick out like,
Oh, I'm sure they
Like a sore
do.
thumb.
I'm sure they do,
Okay.
but,
that's fine. I will keep them as is. My buyer didn't ask. I was just thinking that it
Yeah.
might be better. so, But thank you. Okay.
thank you.
All right, have a
Thank
good
you.
night. Thank you.
Have a good night.
all right, next up, next up, ANRAD 0 Shore Ave, filed by Manny Ramos, Shore Ave Realty Partners LLC.
Good evening. Ken Thompson for Zero Shaw.
Yep.
I'm here to set up a site walk
Okay.
for the review of the line. Get a date on it and just walk through. Okay.
I'll defer to you guys.
Yeah, he's out of it.
Did you pull those files?
I actually emailed Liz and asked her, and because it's year end and everything else, she doesn't, and she has reports too, she didn't think, I forwarded the communication on to Ken. She's got other things that take priority right now. The stormwater, I asked for Robert English, and I asked for McHugh Circle. And Grant's Place, I said, there was documentation the gentleman presented showing some sort of easement. I said, but, and I described to her everything that happened at the meeting and what was discussed. So I put Paul on it and Lynn on it, so we don't have anything. And she doesn't, she's gonna try to get to it. So I had suggested to Ken that he may want to get on the planning board because there's new regulations if you cut more than, or disturb more than an acre of land. They have new stormwater regulations for single-family homes and everything else. It's a
Yep.
bylaw, so.
I just haven't set it up yet.
Right, I suggested that he might be able to expedite it a little faster and find out the stormwater information directly from them because of what he had described as a 6-foot
Ditch.
ditch. It's now become 60-foot wide
You'll
in
see
some
it.
spots.
You'll see it on the sidewalk.
So,
So there's nobody in town hall that can go to a file cabinet, pull the files out so we can look at them?
I can't touch planning board stuff.
I know,
I'll request it from the planning board.
yeah,
I did what I could
yeah.
do.
Okay.
So I guess we'll go on a walk and not know what we're
Yeah,
looking at,
Yeah,
but, I mean, we'll know the wetlands, but we won't have any of the information from the storm.
Well, that's,
That's
I
all
mean,
right.
that's what we have before us is an ANRAD.
Right,
Nothing,
right.
Yep.
I guess I was trying to get familiar with the property
Yep.
before I went walking out there, so I know it was pre-approved by the planning board for other development of areas in that vicinity. And I was trying to
Don't
provide
worry,
it to the
don't worry.
rest of
I'll
the.
get my hands on it.
Okay, so,
well, I was concerned about when Grant's Place was put in, they put some sort of, wasn't a detention area, it was a long, like speed bump
Yep.
type of thing, and I wanted to look at those plans, because my guess is that's not working.
Okay.
And that's probably why some of the problems are out there,
We'll figure it out.
so.
We'll figure it out.
so as far as availability for a site walk? Next week, anybody available for
I'm around well next week.
noon?
We got 4th of July.
and your next meeting is on the 9th, right?
How does, Monday or Tuesday work? July 1st or 2nd?
Either day.
July 1st or 2nd?
And just name the time.
Noon time? Which do you prefer?
I don't care.
Monday?
It's your Monday.
Monday.
Monday, July 1st at noon.
Okay.
So where exactly will we meet?
Just the start of Shore Road. This place is the park there. Just down near that last subdivision.
Down by Robert English
Yeah,
Way?
yeah.
Okay.
There's a stub there that we can park.
Cul-de-sac thing there.
No, it's just a
like
stub
a
of the
dead road
road.
that just ends.
Oh,
Okay. All right,
Anything else?
all right, Ken. I tried to be proactive, it didn't work.
we will see you then.
All
Yes,
right.
we will.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Too.
Thank you.
All right, next up, update enforcement orders on 60 Barry Road, Ribeiro, Delaney, Pinto. So what did you guys do the site walk last week?
Yeah, one day last week. I-
One, yeah, Thursday. I wrote an email.
Hi, do you guys want to give a brief walkthrough of the site walk?
Sure, well, you want to start?
Yeah, so it was brought to our attention that there was a small pond there at one time, and that is no longer there. So we went out, and it's obviously been filled. Nobody's denied that. Like I said, at the walk, had this been a body of water that wasn't near the river or anything, I don't think it would have fallen under our jurisdiction. But since it is within 5 feet
Feet
of
of
the
rivers,
stream,
streams.
and I don't think, I think that's, I don't think that's an intermittent stream. So it has been filled in, and I think it's gonna have to be restored.
Ski, since ski was ski was one the key here.
So I think what, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're gonna have to hire an engineer to give us a plan on how you're gonna restore it back to the way it was.
That's one back out of that.
basically do what we're doing on some of the other stuff that's on the agenda tonight and
Yeah.
other projects properties we've discussed in the last 6 months.
Mas estou aqui trabalhando para isso. Aí você precisa ir aqui, aí eles vão Não, mas nós... A pessoa que...
Yeah, it was interesting to see the stream, and it does wrap, it comes down and it wraps around your property. And when you have a stream that runs 12 months out of a year and it was flowing really good, it's pretty much considered a perennial. And there is protection for that. A perennial stream, it's 200 feet on either side. Now, we know that the lawn was pre-existing and everything else, but when the pond or the area where the pond was filled in, it just disturbed. I mean, it's something that you just can't do without coming before conservation.
Aqui, a gente casa depois que nós terminamos agora. E ficou diferente. Aí,
Só que ele aquela shed. A shed, pra ver tirar, ou pode fazer o lado.
she's asking about the shed, like if, the shed's like disturbing anything. Like,
There's a shed over there, can that stay where it is, or is that gonna have to be moved?
I think we need a plan of where the pond is gonna go back to, and that will determine, I don't have a problem with the shed, as long as you can get the ponding area back there.
ele falou que ele não tem problema com shed, é só que nós precisamos de um plano pra restaurar, dependendo onde que é.
So what you'll need to do is hire an engineer who will Google Earth it and research it to find out what it was prior to being filled in. And then he'll have to give us a plan on how you're gonna go about restoring it the way it was.
Que nós vamos levar pra alguém, aí a pessoa vai dar nosso plano e nós vamos mandar o plano pra eles vão.
Worth amending the enforcement order? To say basically, then we can, same thing, give them a timeline.
Yeah.
That way they can give that to their, what they
Right.
hire, and this is what
Right.
we're looking for.
Yep.
So we will follow up with what we call an enforcement order with all the details, and you give that to the engineer, and they'll know what to do. And we can't recommend anyone in particular, but can probably give them a few names that they could choose from. Okay? We'll give you a few names. And
Essa pessoa, ele forma que ele passar, ele vai saber o tamanho que vai dar, o tamanho do lago que tem que ficar, saber se ele vai passar. O tamanho,
Ele vai planejar.
what was that question?
Oh, she was asking, if the engineers, like, knows how big it's gonna have to be.
Yes, he'll be able to determine that from the way it was. The other thing is the grass clippings and everything, that there's a second bridge going over to the back where some trees have been cut down and all the grass clippings. You can't be throwing those over there either in the future. They'll have to do something else with the grass clippings.
Falou que nós não pode ficar jogando grama lá na floresta.
Okay?
Yeah. You're not supposed to disturb a wetland area, no dumping, no filling. That's in the state regulations for the Department of Environmental Protection.
Que nós
Okay, so we'll follow up with a letter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, let's amend the enforcement order right now.
Okay.
And then we'll give them that, and they can send that to their
Okay.
engineer, they'll already know what needs to be done, what we're looking for. So we wanna, let you make the motion since you're writing all the notes down for it.
Okay. Well, should we give them a deadline?
Yeah, I think, what have we been doing, 90 days?
Yeah,
Yeah. So we'll give you the order, and then you'll have to hire an engineer, and he's gonna have to come back to us within 90 days with the plan on how it's gonna be restored.
eles vão dar nossa papelada e nós vamos dar pra pessoa, aí eles precisam de uma resposta entre 90 dias. Nós temos 90 dias.
Okay?
November.
Does she have any more questions for us?
Let's say October 1st, then.
October 1st to have the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eu não sei, eu não sei também o que eu vou fazer, tem a ver com isso. Mas aquela sempre não insistir. A gente deixa ela lá no museu, ela pra grama.
She's asking if, because the friends that was there didn't exist before, she's asking if we should move it or is it not disturbing anything?
That should all be part of the plan that the engineer will give you, yeah. Yeah.
This will be-
Let the professional design it and,
But yeah, I wouldn't start taking stuff apart. Don't do anything.
yeah, don't do
out here
anything until your engineer gives us a plan on how you're gonna do it.
Ficar movendo as coisas voltando. Em vez de ficar nós movendo, nós precisamos começar com o
Okay?
que aí nós não sabemos se eles precisam.
Except no more dumping across the stream. That's it.
But yeah, don't try and dig out and fix that pond or anything like that, move the shed, take the fence, just,
Wait until we get a plan and then we'll approve the plan.
Right.
To go forward.
Right.
Okay?
Any questions, you can always call the town hall. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll let Lynn make the motion on the amended
What's 90
enforcement
days?
order.
What's 90 days from now?
That's why I said October 1st.
October 1st,
Yeah.
okay.
By the time we get it all processed and everything, it'll be July 1st. So I just do October 1st.
So I will make a motion to amend the enforcement order for 60 Berry Road for the homeowners to hire an engineer by October 1st.
Hire an engineer and present us a plan.
And
by
present us a
October-
plan by October 1st.
What's, that plan's gonna show that we want the pond
Restored.
restored. Location of the shed, fence.
And there's also a huge driveway that they have.
Well, that's what, yeah.
That's where the
That
engineer,
was all
yeah.
mowed down, gravel put down. That was not approved.
But again, if they're gonna come with a plan, they might show that, and we can- or you guys can just say, yeah, it can stay, or no, it's gotta.
Yeah, because where the gravel is, that was grass at one point.
It was
Yeah,
grass.
and he had a fence around it where the goats would, you could walk right from the street into that area where the goats. The pond wasn't as big as all that gravel.
So long as it's put back to what it was originally, I mean, we know the area was disturbed way back,
Yeah.
but let's not do any more damage, so that's what we're
Right,
gonna do.
yeah. Yeah, but the pond wasn't anywhere near as big
Yeah.
as what they've got cleared in gravel now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of that will probably stay.
Yeah.
And grass clippings.
Yeah, got that.
No further dumping, yeah.
No dumping of grass clippings.
Yeah, even had a Christmas tree out there.
Oh, yeah, and the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Or Christmas trees. No dumping whatsoever.
Right.
And then. You guys wanna put in the enforcement order to have a site walk with their wetland scientists before they come back with a plan, that way they know what we're looking for, or what you guys are gonna be looking for before they come here and say, okay, this is what we wanna do.
I think we did that with a couple of other, we did that with Dependable, they come back with us with a plan.
And you guys kinda did it with Hanson Tree too, right?
Yeah. So they can come before us and,
No, I'm saying, set up a site walk
Oh,
before they come
yes,
before us.
yes, yes. So, that's right. Okay.
Anything else?
I think that's good.
Somebody want to second Lynn's motion?
Second.
I love voting.
You gotta repeat the whole thing though.
Okay. I second the updated info, okay.
All you do is like, as stated.
Oh, your last day, you're gonna bust my chops.
All those in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Unanimous.
He's,
All right, I see the reads here, so I'm gonna bump amended enforcement order 1212 Bedford Street and/or 3 Highland Road up next on the agenda.
okay, no, number.
Talked to Nancy today, we haven't heard anything from Vinnie yet as far as hiring anybody to go out there. Do you guys have anything, see anything out there, or? Okay.
Has there been any further?
My only question, without going up to the microphone, is, does he know in writing what he has to do? I know you've got this order, but.
Yep, it's been sent certified mail to him.
Right, he knows what he's required to do.
Yep,
Did you get a copy?
Yes, of the
Okay.
order, I don't.
The amendment?
Yes. It's
Okay.
hard for me to figure out how he knows that he has to hire an environmental person, blow holes, all that stuff that we talked about that night. I just don't, I'm trying to read it and see where it says he has to do it.
It should say that the deadlines, the specific deadlines that we
It
gave,
does say all that.
yeah, that he has to hire someone, they have to present a plan, and that the restoration has to be completed by, I think it was October 1st.
As long as you guys are confident in what we did,
That's not gonna guarantee you're gonna do it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
believe me,
but it
we've
was,
been doing this for years, so we know the game.
Yeah, no, his attorney, when he was here, and it was explained to him, the the criteria we look for determining wetlands and everything else is not just looking at plants and saying, oh,
We, right here, we heard all that.
right, so hopefully,
Okay, thank you.
if not, then we'll go
Move on
to,
from there.
we will definitely move on from there.
has there been any other activity out there since we had our last meeting?
No,
I don't think so.
not
Okay.
Other than,
Yeah,
you parked this dump truck and trailer there, but that's kind of
okay,
a show.
All right,
okay.
so next up is Hanson Tree, 832 Randolph Street, discussion on restoration and buffer. Same thing, we're just waiting on them to give us a plan.
I
Oh,
contacted Weymouth.
yep,
So I contacted the Weymouth Conservation Commission because, as G noted, the Weymouth sign is
Right
right
there.
on their property and they've worked into the wetlands.
Yep,
So I contacted their agent and he was interested. They do have a more strict no disturb than we do. So instead of, well, it's 50 feet instead of 30. Yeah, it's a 50 feet no disturb for businesses. So I gave him,
well, so that would put their no disturb into the town of Abington, right?
right, and I don't
So-
think that it,
I don't think would their buffer, because it's is it a bylaw or?
it
a
is
regular,
not-
it's a
So,
bylaw
but
for them,
Would their bylaw
supersede.
supersede our town's
Probably not.
regulation?
Probably not. But I let him know about the situation. He said he was gonna drive by and take a look at it. I gave him information that I had about it, and he was looking at that and going, oh, you've got an issue here, and I see you've got an issue there, and I'm like, yep, we're on top of those other places as well. I emailed him yesterday to ask if he wanted to attend virtually or in person. I didn't hear back from him. I drove by on Sunday and I could see rocks definitely past the Weymouth line into the wetlands there. So I don't have any pictures. I don't recall if there were big piles of rocks.
Whatever pictures I had that I had taken back in 2023 and one of the ones I just took recently, I forwarded on to Nancy to print, so I really can't say, because I deleted them off my phone.
So did we,
I also sent out a email to the Board of Health, and Lindsay had called me on it, and I made her aware of the conditions with the dumpster and the trash that was all around. I also said, if you know of any other departments that need to be notified, because there was a couple of fuel transfer containers and a fire extinguisher sitting outside, which would be in the buffer zone, so that is something that I believe has to be licensed, and the fire department would want to know about that, so. But there was the dumpster trash and the other issue that Justin had brought up.
So, yeah, that was that.
All right, well, they have deadlines they have to meet, so. All right, if there's no further discussion on Hanson Tree, we'll move on to 1200 Bedford Street. Matthew McPhail, Lynn, you want to do a rundown on your email that went out, well, letter that went out to the McPhails last week? This is 12, the property abutting
1200, yeah.
Vinnie's.
I didn't send it
Oh.
to him though.
No, but you wrote it and Nancy sent it off.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So just as a reminder, for those of you who don't know, we have this issue with 1212 Bedford Street, but 1200 Bedford Street has, that wetland overlaps with the Reeds, 1212 and their property. So we need to have them come before us and figure out how that's going to get restored. So, looks like they're not here today.
Oh,
And
so
so I think,
you want to give them another, to the next meeting and
I
then
think
issue
we
them?
put him on the
enforcement?
next agenda and tell him he's on the agenda, and we'd like him here at the next meeting.
didn't we already essentially do that?
Well, and then when he doesn't show up, then.
Yeah,
we'll-
I mean, we've done the same thing with other app, give them a extra meeting, so I'd say give them the same courtesy.
And then after that, it would be an enforcement order.
And we can send another letter out, basically saying that.
So, we'll just tell him that he's on the agenda, and we expect him to be here at the next meeting, or a representative.
When's the next meeting?
July 9th.
9th, that's right. Okay.
You guys have anything on that one? All right, if there's no more discussion on 1200 Bedford Street, we'll move on to update on complaint from DEP located at 267 North Quincy Street. Same thing as all the others, we have given them timelines to meet, and we haven't had any correspondence with them yet regarding any of their delineations, so. Really nothing to discuss there.
We're batting 1,000.
I know. Next up, enforcement order 225 Brockton Ave. So I spoke with Jason Harris today, and looks like that area is cleaned up. So I'll reach out and send an email. I'll copy Lynn on it. So you guys can set up a site walk to go look at that property. And next up is building permits and site visits. Not really a site visit, but today we had an informational meeting regarding Zero Summer Street. They're looking to kick off work towards the end of the year. So really, the main thing for Concom will be they're looking to submit the building permit application sometime in August. We want to obtain the permit by September, so whoever the chair is will have to sign that. Notice to proceed will be October 2024, construction to start November 2024, so you guys are probably gonna wanna set up a pre-con meeting for sometime in October, if the schedule stays like this. And as far as stormwater for that goes, since I won't be on the board anymore, I know I was supposed to oversee, went through inspections on it, so now Gene will be
I'll
doing
do
that.
my best. I'm gonna need some help though. Stormwater.
Did we
That was a
receive?
long.
It looks like you have a set of plans for Zero Summer Street. Is that shareable with the commission, or is that?
Oh,
not?
that's right, they don't have copies of any of the Zero Summer Street stuff.
Oh, I will give you, I'll back up my pickup truck and give you all the files on
Well, I don't. I just want to look at the plans. I mean,
it. No, but we have there's a file on it,
It's a file.
but,
there is a file.
yeah.
Yeah, Nancy has the originals.
Nancy should be able to give us the conservation file for Grant's Place. We don't need planning board.
No, I know, but stormwater was
Yeah,
under,
but still, with the conservation files will show us the detention thing and other things in Grant's Place that we did.
okay. I'm off for the next 2 weeks, otherwise I'll pull it myself.
When we say Zero Summer Street, is it right up
Oh,
against
it's
Route 18,
actually-
or is it the other end of it?
It's,
Hold on, so you have a new address now too, so it's now gonna be called 412 Summer Street.
412.
MBTA.
Oh, it's that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
John knows where it is.
I do very well.
He knows it very intimately.
I'm guessing you live nearby.
I do.
Okay.
I do, and I've been to
Gotcha.
many meetings on,
Okay.
between here and the planning board as well.
Yeah.
By the time they got to us, it was pretty much done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We couldn't really do anything except get them to move
Yeah. Well,
parking back.
because of the state overlay zoning district, right? Adjacent to
No.
BTA, or no?
It's a 40B.
The 40B.
It's a 40B. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
They started trying to do it based on the governor's thing, but it was never rejected.
It was even before then that even started.
Yeah.
Maybe just before then they went to the 40B after
Yeah.
that.
Right.
After it got rejected because they pulled it out.
Yeah.
If they went non-40.
Sometimes it's
Yeah.
better to work with them and
It's, yeah.
do a 40B.
Correct.
Because they
Would have
could-
a lot less
yeah.
allotments there.
Well, they just said that when they didn't think they had every vote, they basically just pulled out right away. And they just said, they waited like 2 months and then applied for the 40B.
Yeah.
And where they can go around certain
That was
things.
right when I
Working
joined the
with-
board.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Because the first plan had
Oh,
a lot less apartments, had commercial on the first floor.
Mhm.
Correct.
and talk about
Mm-hmm.
Which we need.
That would have been
Now it's
better.
six stories
the
of
pre-construction meetings that we did today.
Yeah, and site
I was
walks.
thinking they would go off of it a little bit because they won't be getting the 3 buildings like they wanted to originally, but I know we had to kind of compromise.
How do you do
but
that
it was-
without-
Like I said, if you went to the original thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not my problem.
That's right.
Also, the town regulations for conservation were, and they went by state. That was a negotiation.
Yeah.
So, Lynn, you wanna talk about the site walks or pre-con meetings you guys did today?
Yeah, so the 1065 Bedford Street, we did that today, met with Steve Gosselin. As the wetlands flags are still up, we discussed where to put the conservation markers, had silt socks up, and,
Erosion control,
yeah.
the DEP sign was nailed to a tree in the back because there was no place on Route 18 where you could put it.
We told them how he had to move it.
Hopefully the use a copper nail.
I don't know, but, yeah. I mean, he's doing a nice job, I understand the need, trying to park on Route 18 was kind of crazy. But,
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
that's very insane. He pointed out where his stockpile and where all the everything that was disposed of is just gonna be hauled off. He took Lynn's card, so if there's any problems, emergency-wise, contact information, if we can, questions, reach out to her.
I only have one left, or 0 left now.
Yep. He showed us the limit of work area and da-da-da, and the stakes and the flagging is still there, so the erosion control looked good. And the streets will be kept clean for any construction vehicles going in and out, because Route 18, as everybody knows, once debris gets on it, it flies up and hits your car because they're rolling by at 60 miles an hour. Have a checklist.
That's good.
I know.
So, yeah, I did that. Alex, do you want to add anything?
When do they
No,
plan
I
to start
think
working?
the site looked good.
It did look
You
good.
know, I mean, I've seen Steve Dawson's work over the years, and, you know, he's
Yep.
willing to do whatever it takes
Mhm.
to do it right. So I have full confidence that this will be another one of his good projects.
I mean, he did have a question on what types of sign we required, and we said that in our regulations, it does show them, and it does explain how they have to be on a 4x4 post, 4 feet up, and da-da-da. So he's gonna go out and look, but we also pointed out another project that was done on Brockton Avenue that he can clearly see the signs if he needs to really go look at them. And, yeah, no, it looked good.
Yeah.
Very, he put in a lot of erosion control where he really didn't need to, but it's good.
Kind of complaint.
I won't
Not
complain, no, that looked good. And then we went on to the next site, which was 75 Block Street.
A little bit easier
I
to
did.
park,
No, I know. 75 Block Street looked good.
a little bit easier to park on.
Was a little bit easier than the DEP sign was right there nailed to a telephone pole, so that was good. We went out back, we saw where the 2 trees were removed that were diseased,
Yep.
his botanist reported said. His erosion control in some spots, I did notice that instead of the stakes being placed every 4 to 5, 6 feet, there was some big gaps, so he's gonna go back and reinforce some of them. The flagging was still out back in the wetlands. What else?
We didn't have the signs on
Oh, yeah,
our order.
On our order of conditions, for whatever reason, how
Because we
that's,
spaced it out,
how that's,
but he said he would do it.
he said because he's
Yeah.
ordering 3, he's gonna order 3 more anyway. So, that was very kind and generous.
But yeah, similar situation. No issues that I could see.
No,
He wants to do the right thing by working with us. And
yes,
It's good.
right, and I explained to him, I said, I've never really been on a pre-construction meeting before, so I was kind of questioning it. These are my list of things that I went over. Alex, he's a pro at it, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But, so, yeah.
So you gonna do the one in 0 Summer Street?
Yeah, I might have to go back and watch some of my stormwater films again. Yeah.
My
Okay,
son was at that meeting this morning.
Yep.
really, your son?
At the meeting for Zero Summers.
Oh,
For the water.
oh, nice. I didn't make it.
Yeah,
didn't find about it
I
till
thought
late.
about it, but
It's a little late.
sometimes I have to work.
Yep. Okay.
All right, that's
So
it
the-
for, do you do any other site visits?
No, I do have someone contacted us and we need to set up a site visit.
For?
This is for 937 Plymouth Street. It's somebody
Oh.
who abuts the dog park.
Karen
Karen
Bowen's
Bowen's
property?
daughter, Winona. She said there's 15 trees that have died in the past 2 years. She thinks it's related to the dog park. She tried to describe, not exactly sure exactly where those trees are, but to get more information, we need to, I think, do a site walk and just see what she's talking about, where the trees are. She says she has pictures of the backyard over the years that she's going to send. She mentioned that
when her son was a child, they would do little pretend hikes through that area. And she said there were peepers there that are no longer there, lady slippers, black salamanders. She doesn't see them at all. There's a lot of wildlife, so she's very concerned about encroachment. She's saying that the dog park, like dog urine and then stone dust, I think is what she wrote, is causing it, but we don't know. We have to go out and see.
I didn't see any, and we didn't go on that side of the dog park, Alex, when we did the site walk, but I don't remember seeing any stone dust outside of the limits of the work.
Seems like a pretty far distance between the roads based on,
She owns 5 acres of property that comes all the way down to
that makes more sense.
441 Summer Street. She's got a big piece of property there.
Do you know how that was constructed? I mean, just what's underneath the stone dust? I'm guessing there's gotta be some crushed dust. It's,
Well, weren't they in front of us, not them, but didn't somebody acknowledge that the work around the dog park was never finished at one of our
Yeah,
meetings
well,
a
we
couple of
went out
months
and
ago?
Looked at it, we got a price to do the replication, but the town doesn't have the $10,000 to do it.
Oh.
Actually, I don't think it was quite 10,000. I forget.
it was just under it.
Yeah.
But again, if a dog is,
If they're in the fenced area, you know.
it's gonna get
have to go out.
filtered through
Yeah.
everything that's underneath that stone dust before it gets out to the trees and.
Before it leaches, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but you, again, how many dogs use the dog park? I don't know, I've never been down there. I personally don't like dog parks.
I
Only
frequent
because-
it. It's not that busy, but not enough to infiltrate 5 acres.
I'm sure there's more wildlife going in the bathroom out there than there are dogs.
And my dogs love to eat salamanders if they find them around the house, so, I mean, wildlife.
But you don't,
eat other
you
wildlife.
got the state park, but you
So
don't
we
have to go up there.
go take a look.
So it's gonna be unclear. I mean, we're not
Yeah,
arborists,
no, we're not.
so
But even if, again, even if it's a urine problem, how do you know it's from the dog park and not from the wildlife?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's a mineral content of the groundwater issue personally, because we have trees that died near our house as well, but that's more of Mother Nature things, so.
Well, we do know that wetlands change as well, so, I mean, what was one time considered upland, and there may have been upland outcroppings, and if it's become inundated with all the storm, I mean, we have a 100-year storm like,
10 years.
yeah, every 5 years now, it seems
Yes.
like we're having them, so, I mean, wetlands are expanding, and what was once considered a protected area and people built houses, now
I mean-
they're finding they're having problems, as you well know, down in your area.
So, yeah.
Could that area where those trees are be holding more water now and the roots are being drowned?
Could very well, I mean, we don't know, we don't even know the types
No,
of
I'm
trees.
just trying to plan for what
Right,
you're
right.
saying.
Right, so, I mean, what types of trees were they? Were they wetland trees or were they upland trees? I mean, we need to really get out there and take a look.
Well, all right then.
That's a thick area.
Well, and Ken was here, because he did the replication work, so maybe you kill 2 birds with 1 stone and do a site walk with him for that, so we can bring you up to speed on what he did out there, why he did what he did out there, and then take a look at that as well. I'm not saying have him go out there and look at Winona's issue, but kind of, you know, see what happened with the replication area, just to have better insight.
I mean, her property hasn't changed since they owned it.
Right.
The only difference thing that's happened was the dog park, so I can understand why she's thinking it might have some play onto what's going on her property. I mean, if they displace water or whatever, it's gotta go somewhere. So, you know, you don't displace and fill an area and then shed water on somebody else's property and make it underwater, that's a bad thing. I don't know. If she can forward us the pictures and if she can identify like the types of trees? Were they pine trees? I mean, does she know what kind of trees they were? Were they maples? We know red maples are wetland species.
She didn't say the specific, she just said they were really big. So, mature trees.
Yeah. Well, it's like down on the street that I live on, when they put the sewer line through, they cut right through a wetland, and they created 2 giant wetlands, and it killed off the giant pine trees. They died eventually. I mean, they can't sit in saturated water.
Right.
So we should set up a site.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she'll let you guys go out there, and you can get out through the dog park anyways.
Yeah, I talked to her about it. She says she works from home, so she can meet us this week, next week. I mentioned noon works.
Let's do it after you do your site walk.
Monday. Can we do 2 in one day? Yeah,
We did today.
Yeah, we did. I'm doing Monday, if that's all right with her.
Anybody make it on Monday? No?
Me.
I'm busy every day next week,
Okay.
on the 4th, so.
John, do you want to go on a
I
sidewalk?
could, is that 7-1?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, noontime?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could possibly make that.
Right up
Or if
on-
you want to do both, you want to do both the Shaw Avenue and then the
And then
Plymouth
drive
Street?
over to Pelham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could make that. I could be available for that.
Okay, awesome.
Excellent.
I will contact her.
All righty.
All right, there are no meeting minutes to approve tonight.
Okay.
Correspondence, like I said, I included that PowerPoint presentation pamphlet in here. Lynn's email about 937 Plymouth Street's in here, and there's some more correspondence regarding the Southfield. Did want to take a look at that?
Can we actually have copies of that? Because this is too fast for me to read all that documentation at a meeting. You
No,
know?
it's really not, it's just a letter.
Oh, all right.
And
Sometimes
then
I'm not that fast to read.
Yeah.
Takes me a while to digest it.
there's also a NOI file for 0 Shar Ave, which
They filed an NOI
I don't
on
know
it?
how they can do that, and we haven't even
Yeah.
approved the ANRAD.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
All right, and I apologize, John, for not welcoming you at the beginning of the meeting. So John Norton was voted on last night at our selectmen's meeting. He's our new associate member. And today is my last meeting, so I don't get the pleasure of serving with you.
Well, it's good while it lasted.
But I know we talked when 0 Summer Street was going on, so if you have any questions,
Absolutely.
feel free to reach
Absolutely. I
out
know you've been very
to me, and
easy to get a hold of, per se, and very cooperative and responsive, so I
and
do
you have a
appreciate
great
that.
group of people here. If you have any questions,
I do believe it.
any one of them will be happy enough to tell you anything. You have many,
Excellent.
many years of experience on this board.
It's right here.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
All right. All righty, okay. Mr. Chairman, is that it for the correspondence?
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, we're
So-
not making any motions to adjourn yet.
I'm the chair. I
I
can,
No, no.
Let him have it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Could you guys sign the partial certificate before you go?
Absolutely, Nancy.
I thought she was an angel.
Nancy isn't.
I know
She
that.
is.
Thank you.
She truly
I put it on
is.
the tee, you hit the home run.
She is amazing. She is amazing.
all right, so
Well-
before I ask for a motion to adjourn, I just want to thank everybody on this current board. It's been a pleasure serving with some of, well, with all of you.
Hey.
No, I was going to say,
mean.
Rich isn't here, he's the only one that's been here my whole 3.5 years.
Justin's not here.
But no,
Backhanded.
with all of you, with Mike, Russ, Karen, Kathy,
Karen, Kathleen.
Joanne, and everybody, we've done a lot of good work. I know you guys are gonna do a lot of great things going forward, so. That being said,
Nope, Mr. Chairman,
Nope.
you didn't open it up to the board.
for what?
We have a comment to make too.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So ever since I joined the commission, you have been kind, respectful, and just overall really great to work with. You're super smart, and I'm pissed that you're leaving, honestly.
None of us voted for you.
Exactly, we wanted you to stay. But, you know, it's a huge loss to our commission.
Hey, you guys all had signs in your front lawn, so.
Well, we did.
We did.
Yes,
We
it's
did.
true. But regardless,
Yeah.
you've been a fantastic, not just a board member, but chair, very fair. And,
Well, you guys all made that easy to be chair.
yeah, well, didn't always agree with you on some stuff. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
always you had your reason and it was a good reason.
That's why we have 7 votes.
That's right. And so I'm going to miss you a lot.
Well,
Yep.
if you
But we
guys-
still have his number.
Yeah, I do.
If you have a question, as long as it's not specific to one site, I'll be more than happy to answer it. Or, you know, if it's something that's come up in the last 3 years, 3.5 years that I can add insight on, my phone is always on.
Mr. Chairman, I also want to add to Lynn's comments because I also started directly right after Lynn. And the first time I really had a chance to talk with you was at a site walk we were on when all the men were walking up ahead and you were just kind of there. And I'm like, okay, you guys, don't wait for me, I'm all right. And you turned around and just looked, so then we had a chat afterwards. So you were very kind and considerate. I've learned a lot from you, sometimes a little more than I want to. It's like, this stormwater stuff is killing me. But you have been very respectful. You're always willing to help out. You take on more than you should, and always have. You did an awesome job as our chair. I'm glad I called you Mr. Baker, nominated Mr. Baker, but it was Mr. Baker. I'm gonna miss sharing mints with you, and I'm sorry I didn't bring a cake tonight. I'm sorry.
Well, like I said,
But
you
you are
guys
gonna
made
come
it
to
easy.
some of our meetings and sit in the audience and heckle us, aren't you?
See what I can do.
Okay. I'm gonna miss you a lot. I'm gonna miss you a lot, because you'd ask for an opinion, and you'd listen to what we had to say. And we didn't always agree. But, you know, you have a right to your opinion, as I have to mine.
That's it.
Even though you call me stubborn, I'm not.
Well, I'm proud and thankful that he's moving
No
into the
comments.
position.
That's right. I'll be stubborn.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul.
We're gonna miss you.
All right.
No crying.
I think we all want to get out of this sauna anyway, so.
Yep.
I said, why didn't you? I didn't
I'm just glad I beat the selectmen's meeting last night, time-wise. So,
Ooh, and we didn't have anybody going at 10 minutes.
so would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Unanimous.